Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And this is the fifth news on 22nd March newspaper front page dawn. Kabul, United States Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin reviews a guard of honor at the Presidential Palace on Sunday, AP. Pentagon chief meets Ghani in unannounced visit to Kabul. Kabul, United States Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met Afghan President Ashraf Ghani during an unannounced visit to Kabul on Sunday, just weeks before Washington is due to withdraw the last of its troops under a deal struck with the Taliban last year. Austin said on Twitter he had come to listen and learn on his first trip to Afghanistan since his appointment. This visit has been very helpful for me, and it will inform my participation in the review of Afghan peace process we are undergoing here with President Joe Biden, he added. After talks with President Ghani, Austin would not be drawn for comment on the May 1 deadline for the pull-out of United States troops. That is the domain of my boss, he told reporters. That is the decision that the President Biden will make at some point in time in terms of how he wants to approach this going forward. The United States Defense Secretary and his entourage flew into Afghanistan on a United States liveried aircraft instead of military plane that usually carries United States officials to the country. Details of his visit were kept under wraps for security reason until after he left. According to the Washington Post, which was among the small group of United States media traveling with him, Austin said a senior United States officials wanted to meet to see responsible end to the conflict and a transition into something else. There's always going to be concerns about things one way or the other, but I think there is a lot of energy focused on doing what is necessary to bring about a responsible end and a negotiated settlement to the war, Austin said. According to a statement released by the presidential palace in Kabul, both sides condemned the increase in violence in Afghanistan. There was no mention of the May 1 deadline. President Biden said last week that it would be tough for the United States to meet the deadline to withdraw troops from the war-torn country. But he said that if the deadline, which was laid out in an agreement between former President Donald Trump's administration and the Taliban, is expected, it wouldn't be by a lot longer. In response, the Taliban on Friday warned of consequences in the United States if the United States didn't meet the deadline. Suhail Shaheen, a member of the Taliban negotiation team, told reporters that if United States troops stayed beyond May 1, it would be a kind of violation of the agreement. The violation would not be from our side, and their violation will have a reaction, he added. Washington is reviewing the agreement with Taliban and has been stepping up pressure on both the insurgents and the Afghan government to find a swift route to a peace agreement. In a sharply worded letter to President Ghani earlier this month, United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said it was urgent to make peace in Afghanistan and all options remained on the table. He also warned that it was likely the Taliban would make swift territorial gains if the United States and NATO troops withdrew. Washington has also given both the Taliban and the Afghan government an 8-page peace proposal, which both sides are reviewing. It calls for an interim so called peace government, which would shepherd Afghanistan towards constitutional reform and elections. But Mr. Ghani has resisted an interim administration, causing his critics to accuse him of clinging to power. He says elections alone would be acceptable to bring a change of government. Both the United States and Kabul, meanwhile, have called for a reduction in violence leading to a ceasefire. The Taliban saying a ceasefire would be part of the peace negotiations. However, despite a general increase in attacks in Afghanistan, the insurgent movement has not attacked the United States or NATO troops since signing the agreement. But United States military commanders and NATO leaders have argued that the Taliban have not lived up to their part of the peace agreement, which includes a reduction in violence and a separation from Al Qaeda and other territorial groups. NATO Secretary General James Stoltenberg said last month that the alliance would only leave when the time was right and when conditions had been met. The main issue is that the Taliban have to reduce violence, Taliban have to negotiate in good faith, and Taliban have to stop supporting international terrorist groups like Al Qaeda, he said. Austin's visit to Afghanistan marks his first return to a United States war zone in the Middle East since taking the Pentagon post. But he spent a great deal of time in the region during his service as an Army commander. Austin, a retired four-star general, served in Afghanistan as commander of the 10th Mountain Division, and from 2013 to 2016, he was the head of United States Central Command, which oversees the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan agencies. And in the end, the formal request, if you have not yet, please subscribe our channel and press the like and bell button to get the fresh from us. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time and goodbye.